So there's a couple of Axolotl SCPs left. Item SCP-3950, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. All 13 SCP-3950 instances are currently contained within Area 12's parazoology wing inside a large freshwater tank, and fed twice monthly on a diet of earthworms. Well, yeah, they need to be fed less than a normal axolotl. They do need to eat that like once a week or something at least, not twice monthly. Interaction between SCP-3950 instances and personnel is otherwise to be kept minimal to allow the former a proper environment for rest and recuperation. Withdrawal of SCP-3950 instances for tissue sampling is currently restricted to personnel of Level 3 security clearance or higher. Description: SCP-3950 designates a subspecies of Mexican salamanders, each approximately 0.6 meters in length. Prior to containment, the SCP-3950 instances had been dressed in identical latex suits of various colors with FTA printed in black on their right breast. SCP-3950 instances have displayed an increased rate of regeneration, approximately 50 times faster than their non-anomalous counterparts. Okay, I haven't got to the regeneration much. Axolotls, if they lose one of their limbs or like the gills, they regenerate them pretty quickly. The feature of the salamander that attracts most attention is its healing ability. The axolotl does not heal by scarring and is capable of the regeneration of entire lost appendages in a period of months, and in certain cases more vital structures such as tail, limb, central nervous system, and tissues of the eye and heart. So it takes only like months to regenerate those parts, but Kola hasn't regenerated this tail part yet at all since I've had her. I don't know what happened to her tail. Let's read more about the regeneration. Some have indeed been found restoring the less vital parts of their brains. They can also readily accept transplants from other individuals, including eyes and parts of the brain, restoring these alien organs to full functionality. In some cases, axolotls have been known to repair a damaged limb as well as regenerating an additional one, ending up with an extra appendage that makes them attractive to pet owners as a novelty. In metamorphosized individuals, however, the ability to generate is greatly diminished. The axolotl is therefore used as a model for the development of limbs in vertebrates. That's what Wikipedia says. Here comes worms. Can I eat them? No, where are you going? Here's my finger. Can I eat my finger? No! Don't eat my finger. Don't eat my finger. Please don't eat my finger. Okay. There's some worms. You like to eat worms? Right? There are a lot of worms. Do you fear the worms or what? Why are you running away from the worms? Why do you run away from the worms? That's my finger, don't eat it. There's a lot of worms all around. You want to eat worms or not? Okay, still wanna eat, okay, good. Let's continue. Scar tissue is present throughout every instant's body. The Wikipedia's article said without scarring. Yeah. Scar tissue is present throughout every instance's body, particularly centered around the hind legs, head, and gills. Furthermore, SCP-3950 instances appear able to survive in open air for a currently indeterminable amount of time. Why do all these axolotls survive in air? Can they swim in air? Since being removed from their suits, SCP-3950-1 through SCP-3950-13 have displayed higher levels of contentment and overall physical health. But why have they been kept like that? Addendum 3950.1 Recovery from the Department of Intelligence. Individual SCP-3951 through SCP-3950-13 were recovered from the home of Person of Interest 5591, formerly known as Sean Mulligan. Mulligan was apprehended at a family gathering, the remaining participants of which have been administered Class C amnestics and brought in for interview. He had been charged with 2 counts of animal cruelty 4 years prior. Interviews suggest that Mulligan was game hunting by the river armed with a rifle and spotted 2 or 4 instances of SCP-3950 as he was traversing the bank. Unable to identify the creature, he panicked and fired 1 round into the head of SCP-3953, as evidenced by the scar tissue located by its left eye. The wound rapidly healed. Mulligan proceeded to capture all 13 instances and house them within his garden shed. Purpose: Mulligan intended to utilize the size and regenerative properties of SCP-3950 for a traveling stunt/circus attraction, dubbed Full Throttle Axolotl. Within his residence were several custom-built miniature motorbikes bearing the logo, elaborate props including hoops, ramps, and steel knives of various lengths, additional latex suits for each performer, and approximately 100 printed leaflets detailing the event. The following text is taken directly from the leaflets in question. SCP-3951 through SCP-3950-13 have been designated in order of appearance. Full Throttle Axolotl. Ride or die with your favorite acrobatic amphibians for just $19.99 a head. Meet the world-famous gang. Rip Roaring Red. Eat his dust as he soars by the hot rod your mother warned you about. Bullet Blue. Light the fuse and feel no woe. Out the cannon blue will go. Yowlin' Yellow. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Watch yellow juggle and swallow white hot flame without breaking a sweat. Gurgling Green. Wrapped in chains, trapped in a watertight box, how will Green make his great escape? Princess Purple. Married men best look the other way as Purple dazzles the room with her breathtaking acrobatics and winning smile. Oily Orange. Doused in deadly flame, a 40-foot drop, a paddling pool only 5 inches deep. Will they make the splash or will they end up ash? Patsy Pink. Fearless volunteer to knife throwing and deadly magic tricks alike. Wizard White. Abracadabra Alakazam. His magic tricks will wow you silly. Bully Black. The rough and tough king of the ring. Dare you challenge his fiery fists? Cutesy Cream. Take a break from the action. Let Cream soothe your senses with a voice smooth as hot butter. Can you make it through without a smile on your face? Boomer Brown. A hearty kaboom to shake the room. Watch the master of explosives blast himself to smithereens with your viewing pleasure. Gallant Gold. A knight in shining armor, Gold will tame the deadliest of beasts to save his damsel in distress. none other than the gorgeous Princess Purple. Silent Silver, he is a mystery wrapped in an enigma, shrouded in the unexpected. Who's next in this slick, silver-tongued salamander's list? Of note, SCP-3955 and SCP-3950 showed significantly fairer signs of injury in comparison to other SCP-3950 instances, the latter featuring only small scar along their chin. Mulligan is currently contained within one of Site 114's humanoid residential chambers until further notice, with an interview being arranged at the earliest possible convenience. So, Sean Mulligan made them into circus animals. Let me check. Which one is my favorite? The Bully Black, the rough and tough king of the ring. Dario challenges fire fists. Axolotl with fire fists. Oh, what? But they are. I don't think these ones were any bigger than normal axolotls. 0.6 meters in length. So they are not the biggest, but they are a bit big for axolotls. How does the Bully Black challenge with his fiery fists? And I just wanna know, how do they do these things that they say on here? I need continuation on this. Oh, there's another addendum here. Maybe I'll read that and we'll see. Addendum 3950.2. Interview. Audio log. Date 28th of October 2017. Subject Sean Mulligan. Interviewer Dr. MacLeod. Note: subject had been in Foundation custody for 3 days prior to interview. Begin log. Door opening, dull scraping sound as Dr. MacLeod seats himself. Mr. Mulligan, I trust you've been kept in good comfort. Wasn't expecting the Ritz, but it did an alright job. Good food. Not like what you see in the movies. Well, this isn't a prison per se. Consider it a necessary measure towards your own safety. Safety being something you appear to pay little attention to. Silence. MacLeod clears his throat. The salamanders, Mr. Mulligan. We'd pretty much appreciate an explanation. Why do the things you did rather than, for example, contact the authorities? Money? Fame, perhaps? What, you want a sub-story or something? Money. Fame, perhaps. What, you want a sub-story or something? I did it because God gave me the fucking opportunity to do so. Thumping. Subject apparently hit the table with his fist for emphasis. I could have gone all the way to Broadway with an act like that. I don't doubt it. They are remarkable creatures. You claim to have seen them moving towards the bank and shot in self-defense? Sounds about right. What of it? This is what frightened you. Not to be a cynic, Sean, but this was apparently in a broad daylight, and our research has determined your creatures to be no quicker than the standard member of their species. Would you like to tell me what really happened? Yeah, you got me. I shot it alright. Is that what you wanted to hear? Aimed square at its dopey little melon and pulled the trigger, and it just heeled right over. Well, I'd planned on stringing it up on my porch and flogging it off to the highest bidder before you know. Now I had a bloody goldmine on my hands. Ever heard of a flea circus, lad? Little automated thing, round and round it goes, make you believe there were those tiny little bugs living in their own little world. Loved them to bits when I was a boy. So I made my own, with a little bit of a twist. See, people love performing animals, but do you know what else they love, Doctor? They love gore. They love crunching bones and spewing blood. They love beheadings. They can't help but look away from their goggle boxes when some poor dumb fuck gets stabbed in broad daylight or when an old lady gets splattered by a train. So I fit my product to that demand. I guide my little beauty. You blame what? An audience on your actions? I didn't say that. Nothing to blame anything on. I did what any bloke worth his salt would do if he stumbled upon a bunch of disposable stuntmen. Then what about the ones who don't perform at all? Purple and cream? All for the show, Doctor. All for the show. Right, I think we're done here. Can I go home now? That's not my decision to make. I'll contact my superiors as soon as possible. For now, you'll stay under our custody. Note: Person of Interest 5591 promptly returned to his designated chamber. Further interviews are currently pending approval. Concerns regarding staff composure and professionalism have led to Dr. MacLeod being permanently removed from the subject's interview rota. Well, shit. I don't know what to say. This dude just did it for the money. For this one, I want to say this was very well written, and there was the leaflet and information from the Department of Intelligence, and then there was also the interview. So there were like 3 different types of content here. This one just doesn't have a happy ending on the story, other than the SCPs, well, the axolotls getting fed and everything, and not being in this guy's hands. So which one of these axolotl SCPs I like? I'd say that SCP-1371 is out first because it's not as long as the other ones, and there's no story, like backstory on how they were captured or where they were gotten from. Then there's just the 2454 that was like a dragon axolotl. It could also fly in the air and do other types of stuff, and there was of course a story this time, and it was a fun read. Compared to SCP-3950, I'd say that the story of SCP-2454 is a lot more fun than the SCP-3950. There's a lot more text on the SCP-3950, but the SCP-2454, there were some hiccups in my reading, I think. The story and everything that the SCP does was very well explained and fun to read. On the SCP-3950, there were some stuff like, are they just like normal axolotls, just a little bit bigger? Or do they actually have some abilities that the Sean Mulligan used in the Full Throttle Axolotl show? So there's some more axolotl SCPs, but I think they all are joke SCPs or part of a bigger story. so I don't think I'll go into those ones. SCP-2454 was a fun read. SCP-1371 was lacking in length and explanations, and SCP-3950 also lacked in the details about how they perform in the show. So I give my approval to SCP-2454 for being the best axolotl SCP on the SCP Wiki, at least right now. So I guess that's it for this episode. I think this is the last one, and I'll continue making some other types of videos, maybe in the future if I find other SCPs that I want to talk about. I might make videos about those. So subscribe, like if you liked, ring that bell, and have a nice day.